It's Sway in the morning.
Only on Shade 45.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45. We're talking about the Street League Championship. It's going to be on ESPN 2, right? Mm-hmm. At 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, Rob. Now, how did you even... when I turned on and watched it, just organically. I think that's the best way to find it. And I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It's a place that I wanted to be. I wanted to be inside the competition and seeing all these dudes who probably skated against each other for years and, have all this mutual respect, but it's the best of the best. How did you select the folks that's on this tour, first of all?
Number one is the 24 best guys alive, from Ryan Sheckler and Paul Rodriguez, Chris Cole, Nigel Houston, and really it wasn't, the whole thing about skateboarding has always been controlled by somebody else, whether it's Disney and X Games or NBC and the Do Tour. So for me to come in and sign up all the best in the world exclusively, it wasn't like people were like, oh, this is so insane, like, all those, this isn't the way it is, it's never been like this, and it's just the reality. It's the first time that someone from our world has built something on this level. You know?
That's incredible, man. Even if you don't know about skateboarding, you can watch it and then you can learn so much. Now, what are some of the, like in B-boy community, when you compare some of the moves that were being done back in the day, like 1990s or backspins or Thomas Flares or whatever, you fast forward 15, 20 years later, dudes are doing acrobatics and power moves that you couldn't even imagine back then. What are some of the moves that people are doing on skateboards right now? What's some of the tricks that they're doing now that when you came in the game, you thought, man, that would never happen?
Pretty much every single thing they do.
Yeah?
Come on. Like when I came in the game, I was like skating little curves. They're skating like 20 stair handrails now.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing about skateboarding, where the slam dunk, the b-boying, it's limited by the physical body.
Yeah.
But skateboarding is limitless by design, because it's all depending on how you build the obstacle. If it shoots you ups and downs, at a rail, is it what it is? Like in the way that the board moves, the progression is limitless by design. So forever, it will completely be evolving into what kids are doing is now what we would have considered full-fledged magic 10 years ago.
Yeah, and they're doing it now. What's some of the names? Like some of the moves got the craziest names.
The high backside 360 ollie nose blunt slide down the big rail by Nigel Houston scored a 9.9, the highest score we've ever had. Sheckler has a caballerial kickflip in the big section, which is basically spinning 360, going backwards to backwards with the board flipping. That we have this sort of elite club called the 9 Club. If you ever score in the 9, there's only 3 guys that have.
And who's that? That's Sheckler?
It's Torey Pudwell, Sheckler, and Nigel.
Okay.
Because
what about P-Rod, man? He ain't never got a 9?
P-Rod, he never got a 9. Man. Got 8.6, but he ain't never got a 9. I have a feeling this time around he will. But that's the cool thing about how I created it, is it comes with all this immense data. So the same way you watch a Lakers game, if Kobe scores 40 in the first quarter, it's like, damn, he might have a 100-point game. It's like if he's shooting, 22%, his season average is 45%. Like he's off. It's like so it's like has all that stuff of average landed trick score and consistency ratings and highest score and landing streaks, all that same data that helps tell a story that's going on inside the overall story of who wins. So it's applying those traditional sports values to action sports that's going to take it to that next level.
I love you, man. I love your crazy mind, bro. That's the way this works, man. I want to come to a competition and I want to be a guest of yours. I don't know, we really just met, but had this
anytime.
Is that okay? I need to see this. Man. I want to experience it for myself. And since you're so generous right now, can I have a DC ring like that too, man? Is that cool, man? How many diamonds is in that, man? Is that
it's just top to bottom.
Just top to bottom. That's it?
Yeah,
oh, okay. All right, great. One more time, this ESPN 2 this Sunday at 5 p.m., right? What should people look out for?
The reality of it is Nigel Houston has not lost all year. This would be almost like Tiger Woods winning 4 majors, and the truth of he was the overall champion last year, but because the stakes are so high, he could lose his first one to Sheckler, Chris Cole, and those guys are going to end up champions. So it doesn't matter what he did the rest of the year. You only have one shot to be champion. Yeah. So it's going to be incredibly exciting. I expect, they all got to beat him, and he refuses to lose.
Yeah,
you know?
man. And he seemed like just the nicest, humble kid, but on that board, he's a killer.
Yeah,
right?
And he's basically, you know, in that Tiger Woods effect where nobody cares who wins. It's like the field against him. You know, it's like all those pros just hope somebody beats him. They just don't want him to win again because he's just taking all their money for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but he's not the same as Tiger in terms of like a lot of little teeny boppers that he's sleeping with or nothing like that. Right,
you want to know what? He's still 16,
he's still
so
16.
I don't know.
You don't know about that part.
Hey, my whole joke to everybody is like, look, we were in the bar, you know, like before the contest, and he comes skating through the hotel, and I'm like, that's the difference.
Yeah,
this kid just did like 5 tricks on the way to the hotel room because he's still like happy 16 while you guys are in here having a beer.
Yeah,
like, you know.
That makes sense. Robert Dyrdek, man, thank you for coming by, brother. I appreciate it. Give him a big round of applause.